Hi, everybody. My name is Jessica with fulfilledandabundant.com, and today I get to speak with Lisa. Lisa's the owner and founder of Center for the Self, and you can find her website at centerfortheself.com. I'm so excited to be speaking with her today. She offers an incredible range of healing modalities. It's very cool. So today we're gonna kick off with that.
Hi, Jessica. It's so good to be here with you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. And so I was reading on your website, you started out in hospice originally.
Yeah, it wasn't originally. Well, I actually started doing the healing work when I was just a very, very small child. And I really didn't understand what was going on. I was just a little kid, but people would bring their pets and their animals to me, and like their pets and their babies. And, if they couldn't get their child to stop crying, like, go get Lisa, and so they'd give the child to me and I'd hold it and it just stopped crying. And I thought, well, that's kind of cool. I didn't really understand it. And, but as I got older and everything, in school and college, and then I ended up in marketing and advertising in corporate. And although I was making great money and I did really well, but it wasn't as fulfilling. As I just knew there was more. It's like, my soul, my spirit was just like, yeah, this is nice, but you're really meant to do something else. That feeling. And so I went back to college and got my master's in psychotherapy. And then I was guided to do hospice. I was divinely guided. It was very clear. This is what you need to do. So, okay. And that's part of what really got me more focused in the healing work. Is I loved meditating, and I needed to meditate when I was in corporate. I needed something to combat the stress because it was a little crazy. So I'd been meditating for many years. And when I got into hospice, boy, I saw so much. It really opened my eyes to how we treat ourselves. And the critical talk. I mean, I was talking with people in their 90s who were still talking about, my mother never wanted me, or my father did this, or, all this stuff that they're still holding in their body. And it's so heartbreaking. And one of the things that I saw in hospice, like over and over again, is our physician. He was great. And one of the first things he would do with our patients is take them off all their medications. I mean,
like
they're on
just a clean sweep, or
pretty much clean sweep. Unless, it would cause problems and he'd wean them off, but pretty much a clean sweep. I mean, because they're on hospice, expected to have 6 months or less to live. And I am not kidding. A lot of them got better. They weren't dying. They were over medicated. And this happened to quite a few of our patients. So that was a big eye opener. And a lot of patients, they're on 2, 3, 5, 10, 12 different medications. There's going to be some conflict going on there. And one of my cases was a 40-year-old woman. She passed away from liver disease that was caused by the medication that she was taking. She left behind 2 8-year-old little twin girls. And so it was really heartbreaking. So I'm like, there's got to be a better way. And I knew, the energy work, and I was just guided to start doing ColorPuncture and energy work. And it's an interesting, divinely guided story. Do you want me to tell you the whole story?
Yes. I really want to hear about ColorPuncture.
It It's why it's interesting. It's so effective. I really love it. I'm glad that I listened to my divine guidance. You know,
So is color puncture something that you termed, or is it a modality that someone taught you?
it's a modality that somebody taught me. Yeah, it is. It's from Germany,
Okay.
and really it's from the ancient Egyptian times. They would put precious stones and semi-precious stones in the walls of the buildings. And then whatever color they needed, because every color has a different frequency, whatever frequency they needed, they would go and stand in the light of that stone.
Oh,
And
so it was like a window, like glass. So the light would
mhm.
filter through. Oh,
Yeah, the light would shine through the stone and they would bathe their body in that frequency, whether it was red or green or blue. Like if they had pain and inflammation, you would stand in blue to calm down the inflammation. If you needed balance, you would stand in green. If you needed to be invigorated or increase your circulation, you'd stand in red. So to like make it super simple, there's a lot of other different colors, of course.
yeah. And then the tonalities in between and
And we apply these, and I actually have some of my tools that I'll show you here in a minute. Yeah, it is really neat. I've been really happy with it, and so are my clients. That's the most important. When we apply the colors on various points around the body, and we can even do this long distance because everything is energy. So we just connect energetically, and we can absolutely do this. And it's pretty amazing. They feel exactly what I'm doing. So it's kind of wild, as you know, as an energy healer yourself.
And color is one of my favorite things. That's something that I bring in when I combine organizing and energy work. It's all about color.
Yes.
So yeah,
Absolutely. And well, color is so important. Yes, in your environment too. I mean, you don't want to paint your office wall like bright red, or something like that.
Unless you're the boss and you want to.
Yeah. Right.
But
Yeah, depending on what energy you want.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I said I would share the story with you, how I got into color puncture, because it's really wild. When we're divinely guided, you just know. Well, I had just started with hospice, like my first week. And a friend of mine kept telling me about this color puncture class. And I had just graduated with my master's degree in clinical social work. And I was like, I can't do anything. No, I couldn't even pick up a book. I was like, no, I'm so done. I can't do anything. And it sounded kind of like color puncture. I don't know. That sounds pretty woo-woo, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't want to do it, So I was putting up all my walls, don't want to do that. But he just kept on and on and on. So I did my meditation and I asked God, if this color puncture thing is something that you want me to do, please give me a sign. I had never heard of color puncture. Like I said, it sounded kind of way out there. Well, the next day I went to work, and one of the other clinicians there, she walks up to me, she was all excited. She's like, Lisa, look at me. I feel great. And I'm like, okay, I didn't know. She goes, no, you don't know. I have suffered from chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia most of my life. I've tried every herb, every tincture, every chiropractic, energy work, everything. She said, I've tried everything. And I did color puncture last night and I feel great. I was like, what did you call it? This thing that I had never heard of. And I was like, okay, God, I got it.
So was that the next day? Was it the next day or the same day?
The next day. That was the next day from, yeah. So back to school I went. And it has been phenomenal ever since, because in helping people unwind blockages and pain and old anger and just things that are blocking our success and blocking us from moving forward. Sometimes we don't want to relive it because like, hey, I made it through it once. I don't want to relive it. So we may not go to therapy or do whatever work, we think we have to do. The color and energy will help unwind the energy along with that trauma or experience, or you may not even be able to identify it. It just unwinds it and lets it go. Like we also follow traditional Chinese medicine where fear is stored in the kidneys. Okay. So if fear comes up, I'll do, a protocol for the kidneys and help unwind that fear. Mm-hmm. And anger is stored in the liver and also in the heart. So we'll address that with certain points with certain colors, and it just unwinds it and lets it go. And I've had people like one gentleman had pain in his coccyx for, he said, over 40 years. And we weren't even trying to treat that. That wasn't our focus. And he never told me about it either. I guess he's just like, it's been there forever. It'll be there forever.
The coccyx is in the pelvis, like the very, very low.
Yeah, like your tailbone area. So, and he told me the pain is completely gone. And we were working on the emotional stuff. So there is so much that we kind of store. Yeah, it gets all twisted in there, and it affects our ability to, how we think, how we present ourselves, the people that we attract or
we're able to receive.
Oh, absolutely. If we're able to receive, it can put up multiple blocks around that, because that can be pretty darn scary. Mm-hmm. To receive, we have to be open. We have to be a little vulnerable and trust. We have to trust other people. Mm-hmm. And that can be really scary for some people. I know it used to be for me. I mean, I used to have major issues around trusting anybody and anything. Yeah. We've all had interesting childhoods and whatever, but it's all guided us to where we are now. I'll show you the color puncture.
Okay.
Let's see, I'll show you here's violet. There's lots of different colors. And so this is the tool, kind of looks like a little pen light, little flashlight. Okay. And the color shines through. You can see that?
I see purple right now.
Yeah, purple. So I apply that to specific points on the body. Like purple and yellow are often used for liver and also your immune system. So, and let's see if green will show up nicely. Yeah.
Oh, it's a completely different wand.
Well, I take this piece out.
Oh, okay.
It's crystal. Okay. It's a crystal rod that goes in, and then I, like I said, apply that to various points on the body. And when I work long distance, sorry about that, I use a pitcher, and I get out of the way, I sink in and get out of the way, and it just really comes through me. And it's amazing because I'll start with a little probe, and we'll probe on the fingertips in 2 places, each fingertip. And I'll ask the person wherever they are, they might be 1,000 miles away, tell me which points are the most sensitive. And they'll be able to tell me, because it's energy.
Yeah. So yeah, I know, but they hold their hand out when you're doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Nope, they just relax. They just relax. And
how cool this is.
Isn't it so cool? I mean, I'm so glad I followed divine guidance. Like I said, it's always right. We just have to be open and listen and follow through.
And I just want to affirm how right on you were, because when I was much younger, I had depression and I absolutely hated the color blue. It would just spiral me down. So my rooms, I had 2 different rooms that I painted. One was like bright cantaloupe orange, and I loved that just triggered me out of depression immediately.
I don't know if you can see that. Does that come through?
Yeah.
Orange?
Similar to that. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, and then I had a dragon fruit colored red room.
Ooh, yeah, to get your juices going.
And that was powerful. And I told my brother, because I would loosely apply feng shui to every room. And so I told my brother, if he kept that wall that was painted this dragon fruit pink red, if he kept it a red color, he would either fall in love or get promoted. And within that year, both happened.
Oh, I love that.
He did not believe in this stuff.
I bet he does now.
Yeah, and now he's about to have his second baby.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. So
oh,
I
so
want to affirm how right on the money you are.
yeah, it's so true. And you brought up such a good point. I mean, depression and anxiety is something that's pretty, abundant in our society right now.
Yeah, we want different abundance.
Yes, we do. Yes, we want healthy abundance. If somebody is feeling depressed, one of like the simple little things they can do is wear red clothing, wear red underclothing, or blue, something that's energizing and
bright color blue, not like navy.
Yeah, not navy blue. I mean, but
like what you're wearing.
Yeah, something like this. Something bright and happy. It really makes a difference.
It does.
And lots of little things we can do. It's all energy, so it all makes a difference.
How cool. So ColorPuncture is originally an Egyptian modality. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Originally from Egypt.
Cool. I was going to ask, like, what are the Egyptian practices that you do?
Really, that's the only thing that I'm aware of. And then I'm certified in multiple modalities, like hypnotherapy, and I'm a certified, I do energy medicine, certified in that, and certified in like clinical hypnotherapy, but also clinical guided imagery and meditation. So one thing, when I learned something, I've always been, inquisitive. Probably drove my parents bananas. But I've always been.
My mom knows that story.
Yeah. Why? How? Why? Yeah. And what caused that? And what came before that? And so that's led me to really dive deeper and deeper and deeper. I was like, well, and what else? So we're down to, the basis is the energetic level, and really working with that even more so than the mindset. I mean, your mindset is extremely important, of course, but there's even things like, okay, well, what caused the thought? It's an energetic pulse. It's an energetic, so it's like, okay, well, let's go in and work with that energy then. Let's get to the root. So that's why I have so many certifications.
That's amazing. That's powerful. And do you have a personal favorite? Because I saw your list. It was long.
Really, the ColorPuncture is absolutely one of my favorites. And I just, wherever the client is, I bring in whatever we need to work with. And then also working with your personal presence and, the art of feminine presence, the art of masculine presence, working with our energy and understanding what that is and what that means, and just the awarenesses of how our energy can leak out, how we might be repelling people and opportunities. We're really working so hard, to get new clients or whatever it is, meet the right person or whatever. And it's like, and our energy is repelling them. Yeah. And when I first learned that,
for the people that are watching, that's actually how we know each other. Both Lisa and I are certified in the art of feminine presence. And it's something that I'm very passionate about as well. So
isn't it amazing?
Yeah, it is. And we talked about doing a practice together for everybody to watch. So Lisa, do you want to guide me through the practice?
Sure.
And for the people watching, just pretend you're here with us.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go through it with us. Absolutely. So for this practice, I'm going to go ahead and stand up. And
Do you want me to? Well,
I'll move my
I
camera.
can't really stand up, but
Okay, I will. I'll move my camera up here. Got to take something down here. Is that okay?
yeah.
All right. Our society and just life is so busy, right? And we are often, we're always thinking about, okay, what do I need to do next? And we're multitasking and we're busy, busy, busy. Well, of course, this affects our personal presence. And I really believe no matter what our goal is or what our intention is, what we desire to create in our life, this body, this awareness, this presence is the biggest tool we have to bring to the table. So it's not so much, the marketing or the, all that stuff. It's this thing. So I'll do an exercise to show you where most of us live, kind of like up in our head. And then, we'll just go through the exercise and you'll feel the difference and see what you notice. Okay. So I'm going to bring my energy up into my head. And then I'm just going to chat with you about how my day has been. And then we'll do an exercise and bring it down into my body and we'll feel the difference. And see, who would you rather spend more time with?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Let me know when you're ready.
Bring it up into my head. And it's actually out in front of your head, like a little thought bubble, like you see in those cartoons.
I already hate it.
Yeah. It's like, and so often that's where we are because we're like going forward, So hi, Jessica. It's so good to be here with you today. And I've been preparing for this and I, made my desk all nice and clean. And I remembered my ColorPuncture tools to bring out and show you, kind of a little show and tell. I thought we'd have a lot of fun and just let it flow. And it's so cool being here with you, sharing the art of feminine presence as well. And I'm really having a lot of fun with you. Okay, so that's head bubble. And how did that feel to you, Jessica, with me talking to you from that space?
I noticed, I was like, oh, I have nowhere to escape to. And I felt I don't know if I was actually doing that, but I felt like, where can I go? And a little bit of anxiety increasing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's really high strung.
Yes. Interesting. Okay. So, and yeah, that would certainly repel people. Okay. I'll bring it back down. Okay. I'm going to come down into the womb space, just about a hand width below the navel. Just get grounded, get centered. And now I'll talk to you from this space. And again, we'll just talk about my day. And Jessica, it's been such a pleasure being here with you. I'm really grateful that you invited me to share the gifts of energy healing, ColorPuncture, also the art of feminine presence, and doing this interview. And like I said, we're just letting it flow and we're just having a lot of fun here today. I can feel that. So,
yeah.
How did that feel?
Okay, where do I sign up? Yeah, I love that a lot better. And the interesting thing is that your voice was a lot deeper and the second in womb space when you're sitting lower.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were in your head, it was a lot higher pitched and you actually spoke a lot louder as well.
Isn't that interesting? Like I had to exert more energy at you.
Yeah. I need to forcefully make sure you're hearing me.
Yes, hear me roar. And that it takes a lot more energy to do that. It's a lot more wearing on our body. And that's part of, why people are exhausted at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They're not fully in their body. And, I honestly, I'm going to tell on myself.
Oh, yeah. I'll share
I
one
thought
too.
I was in my body. I really did, because I live in Sedona, and it's very spiritual. There's a lot of woo-woo, and there's a lot of people who are clearly out of their body. So I thought, well, and I could feel it, and it would be really irritating. So I thought, well, of course, I thought I was in my body, because I was like, well, I'm not like that. But boy, did I get an awakening once I really learned what that meant, come into my body.
It takes
And
practice.
yeah, and in more of the feminine versus the neutral or the masculine energy. That was another.
Practice too. I was very in my masculine.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I think a lot of us are, because we're just go, 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 go all the time, or in neutral. Mine was mostly in neutral. It actually made me cry. I was like 80% in neutral.
Yeah.
And it felt flat and really pretty dead. I thought, oh, it made me sad. I was like, I don't want to feel dead. I want to feel alive.
So what was the shift for you when you recognized and were able to sink down more into your feminine?
More solid, feeling a lot more solid, feeling more present, and really feeling more safe, which is it's kind of ironic, because a lot of people are not in their body because it does not feel safe. From childhood traumas, whatever.
Yeah.
They jump out. But honestly, when you're aware of that and you can bring yourself back in, that's when you really feel safe.
And
home here.
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of practice. I work on it every day.
I do. It does.
But yeah, connecting with women like you, it just triggers me back into it, because I know that you know the work. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Come back down.
Come back down. Come back down. And I use this all the time. I had to meet with a group of doctors for a presentation. And so I didn't know what I was going to say to them. And I just brought myself down, just allow it to flow. Don't worry about it. And it just flowed, and it just went beautifully. Oh. And it turned out very positive. So I was like, whew. I was like, it works.
That's great.
Yeah. And as you know, I mean, it does work, and it's so empowering. And just so, I mean, the ahas, aren't they just fun?
Yeah. For me, in general, life has gotten way more fun. Just like, oh, hey, do you want this? I'm giving it away. It's like $75 bottle, like skincare thing, or, yeah, just a lot more fun, random stuff. Oh, how cool. I just happened upon like this free giveaway, or I don't know, just daily. One day I found $100 bill on the floor.
Wow, that's a nice find. I like that.
Yeah, it was amazing. And the night before, I had prayed and I asked God for some sign. I just wanted to feel his presence. And so it was back a while ago when the masks were still required.
Yes.
And I forgot my mask, and I was like, oh, I forgot my mask. I have to go back to the car. It's so annoying. And I walked back to my car, and I'm looking down because I'm mad. And then I see this. I was like, no way. Is that $100? Wow. Like, it was just a bill.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
Oh, thank you, God. And then the cutest duck like made his home in the little bush that the $100 bill was in. And I was like, oh, I love you, duck. So
That's so sweet.
And it was looking at me like really scared, like, are you gonna, because he was very nestled in the book. It was just an incredible moment. And so I decided to buy my groceries with that $100 bill, and I just came home feeling so grateful for free groceries. And then a homeless man was standing on the corner, and it's where I live in San Rafael. There's one corner that homeless people always stand. It's like traffic lights. There's always a ton of traffic, freeway off ramp and on ramp. And so I decided, I was like, well, it's not my money. God gave it to me. So I gave him a 20, and he was so grateful. Like, that broke my heart. And I got home and I cried.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's such a good point too. You started off being annoyed that you had to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's like, maybe there's a reason. It's
Yeah.
like you're being divinely guided.
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful story. I love that.
Yeah, that happened. So yeah, just more things like that happen more often.
Do you think that's because being home, being more present in your body and being more open to receive?
I think it's a combination of things. I also meditate every day, and I also journal, and I do the feminine presence practices and the meditation. And then working with clients, also, I'm getting breakthroughs for myself.
Yes.
Every client that I work with. And so that's also like triggering different shifts. And then I listen to a lot of channeled people, like on YouTube, and just Abraham Hicks was a favorite for a long time. So I loved that quote that you had in there. And so I'm just getting these like little adjustments every day. But the feminine presence is, I think, the anchor of all of it. And so I'm kind of impressed with myself with my allowing, or my letting go of, like, I don't like this situation right now, but that's it. And that's another thing I noticed on your website as I was reading. You said the good things and the things you don't want. And that's my language too. I don't call things bad anymore. And I loved that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of our ailments or our blocks are because of our judgments. And one thing with my clients, I make sure they know they're safe. There's no judgment. It's not, I'll tell them, it's not good, bad, right or wrong. It just is. It's just what we're going through, what we're experiencing right now.
Yeah. And so it's more accurate to say that you don't like this.
Right.
Or I don't want this.
Absolutely.
It's, yeah.
And you're ready for something bigger and better.
Yeah.
And isn't it fun to play with God, with the universe? Like, okay, let's attract this, let's attract, like the $100 bill. Let's attract, and whatever it might be. And I think it's just so fun. It's like, I get a big charge out of it. It's like, oh, thank you. Because when it comes to fruition.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yesterday I noticed that I got 100% green lights the whole day.
You got 100% what clients?
Green lights, like at the stoplight. Just
oh,
single light turned green. Just
yes. Yeah, that is perfect. I love it. And I always say, thank you.
Yeah. Actually, I was like, no, I want to stop. I want to do my hair. Because I usually do things during the red lights. Like I write down an affirmation and I was like, okay, well, this is really good. Thank you.
Yes.
I was running late and I was trying to eat my food and do my hair. And so whenever that happens, I usually take the minute during the red light and I take some bites or I eat or, fix my hair, whatever. And it was getting all green lights. And I was like, well, we're getting there faster.
Right. You could just go sit in the parking lot or wherever you're going and then do everything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. Reminds me of when I used to live in Phoenix area, and I'd drive to work and people would always be, putting on their makeup and their mascara and men would be shaving and go, 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 go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And so let's say somebody loved our conversation and they're super excited to work with you. How can they find you?
Well, certainly centerfortheself.com. And I would like to invite your audience and whoever's listening to a class that I'm going to be offering. And it is on the art of feminine presence that we've been talking about. And it's really for people who, they want more energy and probably want to increase their health and maybe meet that special person in their life or add more love and passion into their life. And possibly have been, like working too hard and not making the money they really want to, and just feeling like, I know there's more, like there's a little piece in them that just isn't fulfilled. And it's all connected. It's all connected. And I'm going to offer this at mypersonalpresence.com. Okay. And it's going to be free. And we're going to go in, we're going to identify, where do you leak your energy, how, and that awareness. And then we'll give you some tools how to not leak the energy so you're not feeling so tired at the end of the day. And are you, like we did a little bit here today, are you attracting or are you repelling the people and the opportunities that you really want in your life? And so we're just going to do a little bit of a deep dive into your personal presence and awareness and how that's affecting your overall life. So that would be really the best, is to just go to mypersonalpresence.com and just hold your spot. It's going to be a nice small class. It'll be interactive. And it's just so fun to just
it'll
experience.
Be on Zoom or
it'll be on Zoom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And when?
August 10th. 3:00 Mountain Standard Time. And it's all the information is on that website too, mypersonalpresence.com. And it's just fun to have the awarenesses and just that one exercise, bring your energy down. So we'll be doing more of that.
Yeah.
And I'm practicing, really get the feel of it. It's pretty juicy stuff.
Yeah. And so knowing myself that I'm an energy sensitive, I can recognize it in you. And so I know that you'll be able to recognize when people are off or where exactly the holes in their energy are. And you'll know exactly what to do to bring them in and centered. And sometimes the guidance is not a one size fits all. And so I know that you'll be able to direct people to the right solution for them so that they can achieve the success in each practice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's so important. It's not a one size fits all. That is 100% accurate. Yeah. So that's why I like to keep the classes nice and small. It's very interactive. We get, one-on-one guidance. Absolutely.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. So August 10th at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, mypersonalpresence.com.
That's it. And I'll be doing these periodically. So if somebody is listening after August 10th, the new information will be on that website. And we'll be doing these periodically. Yeah. It's too good to keep a secret.
It's so fun to facilitate the magic for others.
Isn't it? And you see their transformation and their ahas is like, doesn't that just make you so happy when you see
it makes my day. Like That's better than finding the $100 on the floor.
I agree.
Please, I want this more, God.
But I mean, we appreciate the money. It is needed in this society, and we certainly appreciate it. But yeah, that nothing tops the transformation of our clients. That is like, that's what we're here for. Yeah.
Well, you have so much to offer. I hope that everybody that watches this or listens checks out both of the websites, because it's very powerful.
It is. And if somebody did want to chat about, the color energy healing and what it might do for them, I'm certainly happy to chat about that and see if it's something for them. So certainly happy to help.
Yay.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Lisa. This is a ton of fun.
A lot of fun.
So thank you, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Yes.